Hello. Nice to see you. I've never done a spoken word performance before. I've never really written spoken word at all. But when I asked me if I wanted to, and it was a nice challenge, so you got her to thank if you liked it. So I guess we better start at the very beginning, right? So this one's called Forward. I wonder if I can write something that accurately captures the facets of my life. Something with rhymes that are bright, with messages that people carry into the night and delivery that touches everybody in a way they've been hoping someone might. I don't know, but I guess I can give it a try. But I'm a singer, and a shouter, and a push-on-througher. I'm bricks and mortar, grit and sort of monosyllabic, and say it like it is and not so poetic at all. But fuck it, if it's shit, it's still legit. Not everything can be meaningful. So yeah, this is me, as articulately as I can. I sing in a band. We make queer punk that celebrates being gay and trans, and validates our anger when we're attacked, spat at, and told to watch our back by predators that prey on those they have more power than. So yeah, I've always played in punk bands. I made music pretty much since I could stand. And when people have seen us and been like, is that a man? I shout louder and harder and stronger than they can understand. And before it would hurt in my gut, but now I stick 2 fingers up because I can. Woo! So yeah, I love writing music. It's my way of navigating my way through this. Always has been, always will be. That was a gift I was born with. It's my political engagement and my therapeutic rage quit, and I need it to know I exist. And I am transgender. Yeah, I'm a proud and prolific bender. I'm the unacceptable face of the assimilation state because I'm glad I'm a fucking outsider. I'm a walking reminder of a gay agenda, which, by the way, is only to protect queer kids from queer stigma. Unless you've got a particularly cute girlfriend who could do with some head that she never gets, then we might flip her. I'm a reminder of my siblings who fought for me to be here, for those of us not privileged enough to walk without fear, of the dykes and the fags who turn heads when they're just out to get fed because they don't know how not to be queer. I am transgender, andro, homo, I'm stone, and I'm here. And I'm happy to guide you. Because I'm older and wiser, yeah, this pretty face hides a wider array of pleasures and pains that could last me a fucking millennia. Yeah, it got better, but not in that bullshit it gets better campaign way I just learned to lay into aggressors. And I love animals. I have a rabbit. They're non-binary, that's how they like it. Try to misgender them, see what happens, they'll go rabid. But seriously, man, animals make me feel calm and grounded, make me feel like maybe we should work alongside the earth, not against it. Make me feel like factory farming is one of the most alarming things that capitalism did. Make me feel like I want to break every single one of them out of that shit. I love prey. The ones who constantly survive every day. The ones who eat vegetables, plants and hay, who stay in herds to keep safe, who run like the wind and fight till the end and keep one eye open just in case. Yeah, I relate. Yeah, come pray on me, come see I've developed a taste for predator blood on my face. And I smoke weed. It used to be a thing I want and now it's a thing I need. Used to drink alcohol, stopped long ago for the green, and I'm better than I ever been. It medicates and it stimulates my creativity. I write my best songs when I've hit the bong at speed. It's that sweet THC that I flare like the air that I breathe. Have I mentioned I'm gay? Yeah, probably. Not in the way that you're thinking. No, I sleep with women, I'm that type of gay. I'm a lesbian and I wear that word with such pride every day. I come from a long line of people who said it's okay to love with a member of the same gender and not be ashamed. And if you don't see it, then chill, I don't need it. It won't make me suddenly change. There's more to me than this, but I didn't come to make that list. I just wanted to see if I could write something that accurately captured the facets of my life, and I did. Yeah. So that's my full word. Now you know a bit about me, I guess. Now I know a bit about me, I guess. This one's called Sociopolitics and Thoughts About Where I Come From. Now it's time to write something else. Maybe something about myself, or maybe something about the world. But social media got that covered from every conceivable angle. My politics ain't newfangled, it's a truth that was long ago discovered. But while I'm here, let me tell you the basic idea. It's recognising that our forefathers were murderers and caused international devastation under the term exploration. They took culture and language and all the resources from so many beautiful nations and left them in disrepair. And all that they shared was a corrupt religious leaning, interpreted by demons disguised as saviours and pilgrims, and became one with the ruling governments, and now they're stuck with it. And it's dictating who can exist and who you can sleep with, and Puritan punishments for minor offences, and that's all shit that our ancestors did. And we can't undo it, but we can acknowledge it and show our contempt for the powerful elite who uphold it. I've been thinking a lot about class. In England, it's a huge part of who we are. Well, unless you're middle class or higher, then you can actually retire at 65 or under unless you die early of stress caused by working at that cushy corporate desk, which would be pretty fucking ironic, to paraphrase Ms. Morissette. But yeah, my guess is class doesn't have a big effect on your mindset if you're financially secure and able to fit in with the rest. If it did, I guess we wouldn't be a conservative nation of dickheads. And we can't undo it, but we can acknowledge it and show our contempt for the powerful elite who uphold it. So yeah, anyway, let's try again. I've been thinking about my relatively working class upbringing. Now first I ain't fronting, I had some middle class shit going on too. I went to private school. My parents wanted to break the rule and give me an education they wished they'd had but were too poor to, so I went to private school. Nowadays I think it's a hideous tool of the elite, but I still thank my parents for the effort they made and the love they extended to me. It was funny when they saw I was LGBT, and at least not a regular version of the person I was expected to be, they wondered why my skin was so thin, and I was like, oh, because I haven't been living in reality. I think that was a bit hard for me. Because despite the schooling, I was gay and trans and had pretty life-affecting ADHD. I'm diagnosed because I overachieved and grew up in the 90s, so any perceived neurodiversity was just kids being kids, so apparently there wasn't a need. So eventually, regardless of a posh accent I'd acquired, which I lost quickly, I was going to return into society a disadvantaged, underworked minority, something that private education pretends not to see. And we can't undo it, but we can acknowledge it and show our contempt for the powerful elite who uphold it. I got by on bursaries, so my mum kept sending me. Till I was 16 and couldn't deal with the tyranny. I was a clever little kid, not the cleverest, but pretty good at most things I did. Came second in a cross-country race once. The winner went on to nearly make the Olympics. Won a guitar competition, never got below a B in any examination. My parents were like, how did we fucking make this one? Gave me an overinflated sense of ambition. I could do anything, said the baby boomer generation. I believed them. When I was 16, I went off the rails. It'd been leading up to that for a couple of years. I was so fucking done with convention. Started taking drugs and skipping lessons, getting drunk and developing depression. I wasn't life smart, so each day just felt like guessing, but I didn't know where to start and I was stressing, so eventually I dropped out of college. I got a B and 2 C's, worst I ever did. And the rest is dull, but what I'm trying to give is an honest account of the life I've lived in relation to class. So I'm a little mongrel, upper working, lower middle, so I'm not really a part of any bit, but I do have privileges, and that's why it's important to be legit about this. And we can't undo them, but we can acknowledge them, show our contempt for the powerful elite who uphold them. Because if you're not, you can't expect to understand how you and other people are treated at similar and different points on the pyramid. So if you can't pinpoint where you came from and do a little self-reflection, then how are you going to help start the revolution? Acknowledge it, fight the elite who uphold it, undo it. Denounce your ancestors, but also recognise you benefit from their corruption. Tear down the pyramid and make a podium where the most oppressed are at the highest position, receiving the most support to survive the system, and the least oppressed are at the bottom. And if the powerful won't give up their power, we'll fight them. Can even use our privileges against them. And eventually, maybe within a century, undo them.
Yeah.
This is about mental health. There's got to be one about mental health, hasn't it?
Yeah.
For the episodic impulses to die, and why? I feel like I want to die. And I don't know why. Maybe I should get high or take the medication I've been prescribed, but right now I just want to hide, I can't lie. I'm resilient as fuck, but now I'm stuck in my nightmare mind. Everyone runs out of fight from time to time, but this feels like I'm running out of life. I feel like I want to die, and I don't know why. Maybe because I don't have the body I'd like. Because my face is so defined by deep-set bones and tired eyes, sick of asserting their plight to be seen as a dyke and not as a boy who can't do boyhood right. I guess I miss my meds, but that's a catalyst at best. Doesn't make me feel depressed or account for the rest of this mess. I want to die, and I try to work out why. But I can't find any epiphany or good reason to be this level of fucking crazy and really poorly designed. Especially when I have it all. When I have partners who I love, and a life that doesn't suck, and friends who I'd do anything for, and yet I want to die. And I don't know why, and it makes me want to rip out my brain and throw it again and again against the wall. I want to die, and I don't know why at all. I'm sure it will pass, but I can't find a path to the door. And that's the worst part, that you might be stuck here forevermore, but this time I took a Valium, slept it off and woke up feeling like I could carry on. Channeled all my sadness and frustration into aggressive, queer, punk, rock songs. But I wanted to return to this feeling because this is such a big reason why queers do teenagerdom between 25 and 27. We don't age in the same way as the rest of them. Because we want to die and we don't know why, but maybe it's because the outside world makes us feel like we want to be inside. Makes us want to cry and wonder why we can't take part in anything without feeling scared, small and shy. Maybe it's alright to want to die. Because we so often only get to live half a life. Be resilient so often we don't have time or energy to be a part of anything we might if we were celebrated and embraced and well liked. If we felt safe and like no one would assault us when we were just trying to have an okay night. So yeah, maybe now I have some idea why. When I've used every single piece of my gay power and my womanly pride, I want to die. And this one is about having a lover across the sea, being 1,000 miles away from someone we love a lot. And it's called Go Home. Here I am at the airport, waiting to go home. Steady, but not ready. After 7 full, beautiful days of loving each other in such a multitude of ways that you became a home all your own to me. And now I don't know which way to go. The air or the road, the mild or the cold, the British rain or the Scandinavian snow. And I always want to scream at you and say, you fucked up my life. What the fuck do I do now without you? Where do I go when I need the needs this relationship has instilled in me regardless of how hard I try not to? Where's your body? That holds my body like we're perfect fits, that understands every angle of me better than anyone I've ever met, that gets me wet, that gets me so fucking wet, that gets a body of man wet I don't even have yet. You fucked up my life, baby, and now I'm flying away from you and every fibre in me is saying I'm fucking crazy. I'm flying away from you just to be back home thinking of you constantly. Wondering why my heart hurts, going about my routines, going to work and being shit at everything, playing shows but not connecting, being with other partners and them not getting that my distraction isn't a lack of affection, that I love them. But a huge sea is dividing a big life-defining thing, and it's making my heart ache like teeth stuck in the sweetest cake, like a tendon sprained in a race, like when I'm with you and I can't get that fucking smile off my face. Now I've been back home a week. Getting back down to it, happy to be back with my chosen family. Getting back into work and enjoying a spurt of creativity. Writing songs I'm excited to perfect and share with you next time we meet. Trying to be cool about when that next meet might be. Trying to remind that I can only confirm when I'm free and wait and see. But I know eventually you'll come back to me. You'll leave your home, the one you get your post, and keep the things you own. Come to where I am, location unknown, and arrive at home. The one that we make when we're together. The bricks that rise around us, the bubble that surrounds us, a feeling of absolute safety and satisfaction that still kind of confounds us, and that could be wherever. Does that work?
Please.
Happy days. This is that transition. And it's called I Put On My Gel. I put on my gel. A routine I've learned so well. To escape from hell, the dysphoria swell, the gender they sell to the outside world. It don't make me feel like a boy or a girl. Just a space in between. You can't yet see, so you're calling everyone he and she relentlessly, as far as I can tell. I put on my gel. It's wet and there isn't a smell. It could be in the water. It could be turning your daughter into a gender you can't even spell. Talking of spells, it does feel a bit like magic, though a little bit tragic, like a man digging a tunnel with a spoon from a jail cell. I put my gel on. It makes me feel strong. Makes me feel like I have control of the person I'm gonna become. It's a bonus that it also makes me look young, but sometimes I get age checked by a prick stick and that ain't particularly fun. Still I put the gel on. And each time a part of me feels like I've won. Like I've triumphed over a world that wanted me gone. Yeah, I'm still here, still queer, still sincere about never having to answer to anyone. And I don't care if you don't see where I'm coming from. If you look at me in the streets and see the wrong thing walking along. If you push past at the lesbian bar like I don't belong. Like even though I'm here every time, you look at me like I've read the sign wrong. And still I put the gel on. Maybe it's because I want to be something, or maybe because I don't want to be anyone. Like I've seen what's on offer and I'm like, nah, there's nothing here I want. Like I decided I wanted another go at the fun. Like I march to the beat of my own drum and I want to box with God. I put on my gel, I do the rebel yell, and I dive into the arms of angels. Yeah, this bitch is going through stages. I thumb through historical pages. I come and it feels outrageous. The sum of these years is contagious and I'm done with being locked up in cages. I'm young and I'm so fucking dangerous, breaking barriers that once contained us. See, I make the young ones want to dress up and all the mums feel like they messed up. And if you're the same as me, get up. Let's take down this system that made us. See, I live every day like I'm shameless. And I fuck so A+, man, I'm famous. And for the first time since I was 9, I sometimes feel mentally well when I put on my gel. So I put on my gel. Yeah, I put on my gel. Thank you.